Good day. Thanks for coming back. It's good to have you. I am sitting outside, obviously by the garden, and we had a late start with our garden. We had a couple of other projects that the wife and I were working on, and so we planted things really late this spring. I don't think we got anything into the ground and got the ground prepped and everything like we typically do until late in May, which in the past we've, as soon as we have the last frost, which is usually towards the end of March, we usually have things in the ground, or at least the ground prepped, and we just didn't this year. So it's still kind of coming through, but I've been pleased to see some things that some perennials that kind of sprung up even after we had prepped everything, of flowers from last year. And so you'll see, these blue flowers here, those are forget-me-nots, and we had just kind of sprinkled those about, just a couple, and this year there are a ton. And so one of the things I'm excited for is over time that this is a produce garden largely, but that we also have just these perennial things that just pop up each year on their own and kind of continue. And then as time goes along, we'll see, you come out here and it's really full. Right now it's pretty empty, and some of these, especially the tomato plants, get pretty big, and we'll have this beans on this trellis pretty quickly as well. But it'll be nice over time. It kind of fills out and starts to look a little bit more natural, less manufactured, less artificial. So anyway, I'm enjoying that. And on the note of your landscaping not looking artificial or too manufactured, too buttoned up, you still let nature have her way a little bit. You try not to overcompensate for the beauty that's already in nature. I have just read, and I pick this up every now and then, it's a pretty quick read, but Pride and Prejudice, this Everyman's Library copy, with this very nice green cloth on it. And one part of this sticks out and reminds me of at least what I wish my garden and my landscaping would one day look like. And it's when Elizabeth is on vacation with her aunt and uncle, and they go and see Mr. Darcy's estate, Pemberley. And the way Elizabeth describes, or the way that Pemberley is described, the grounds and everything like that, is described, Elizabeth realizes that it says something about Mr. Darcy, something about Mr. Darcy that she would not have guessed. And so I thought I might just read some of that to you, and we can then meditate on perhaps what some of that means. So this is chapter 43. It says, Elizabeth, as they drove along, watched for the first appearance of Pemberley Woods with some perturbation. And when at length they turned in at the lodge, her spirits were in a high flutter. The park was very large and contained great variety of ground. They entered it in one of its lowest points and drove for some time through a beautiful wood stretching over a wide extent. Elizabeth's mind was too full for conversation, but she saw and admired every remarkable spot and point of view. They gradually ascended for half a mile, and then found themselves at the top of a considerable eminence, where the wood ceased, and the eye was instantly caught by Pemberley House, situated on the opposite side of a valley, into which the road with some abruptness wound. It was a large, handsome stone building, standing well on rising ground and backed by a ridge of high, woody hills. And in front, a stream of some natural importance was swelled into greater, but without any artificial appearance. Its banks were neither formal nor falsely adorned. Elizabeth was delighted. She had never seen a place for which nature had done more, or where natural beauty had been so little counteracted by an awkward taste. They were all of them warm in their admiration, and at that moment she felt that to be mistress of Pemberley might be something. Anyway, that last line that, she has this thought, and, after seeing everything that, again, it's, nature is allowed to be beautiful and it's husbanded and cultivated well, but not, counteracted by an awkward taste, by an impulse to be too manufactured to look, because then it starts to look less natural if you do those sorts of things. And Elizabeth realizes that says something about Mr. Darcy. Just the way in which he stewards his house and his grounds, it says something about his character and personality, and naturally the way you care and cultivate for your land is also going to have an impact on what you do with the people who serve you and whom you have charge over and that sort of thing. So for one of the first instances, Elizabeth has this real tangible example that Mr. Darcy might be quite a bit different than what she has assumed the entire time. So anyway, I thought that was a nice reflection on just, how you care for your things as a reflection on you. And I hope one day I can look at a very lush garden and see a reflection on my personality and my wife's personality that reflects well. We've been very bad. I've been very bad at reciting poetry at each of our visits. And since we're sitting out here by the garden, I have the Oxford Book of Garden Verse, which was recommended to me. I don't remember where, but it was recommended to me. Otherwise, I never would have found it. But it's just a bunch of different poetries. It's this anthology, and so I thought I would read this. This is from The Sensitive Plant by Percy Shelley. A sensitive plant in a garden grew, and the young winds fed it with silver dew, and it opened its fan-like leaves to the light and closed them beneath the kisses of night. And the spring arose on the garden fair like the spirit of love felt everywhere, and each flower and herb on earth's dark breast rose from the dreams of its wintry rest. But none ever trembled and panted with bliss in the garden, the field, or the wilderness, like a doe in the noontide with love's sweet wont, as the companionless, sensitive plant. The snowdrop, and then the violet, arose from the ground with warm rain wet, and their breath was mixed with fresh odor sent from the turf like the voice in the instrument. Then the pied windflowers and the tulip tall, and Narcissi, the fairest among them all, who gazed on their eyes in the stream's recess till they die of their own dear loveliness. And the naiad-like lily of the vale, whom youth makes so fair and passion so pale. That's so nice, that alliteration. Whom youth makes so fair and passion so pale, that the light of its tremulous bells is seen through their pavilions of tender green, and the hyacinth, purple and white and blue, which flung from its bells a sweet peal anew, of music so delicate, soft, and intense, it was felt like an odor within the sense. And the rose, like a nymph, to the bath addressed, which unveiled the depth of her glowing breast, till fold after fold, to the fainting air, the soul of her beauty and love lay bare. and the wand-like lily which lifted up as a maenad its moonlight-colored cup, till the fiery star which is its eye gazed through clear dew on the tender sky, and the jessamine faint and the sweet tuberose, the sweetest flower for scent that blows, and all rare blossoms from every clime, grew in that garden in perfect prime. I hope that can one day be said of my garden as it expands and grows over the years, and all the rare blossoms from every clime grew in that garden before its prime. That would be quite nice. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that little reflection. If you don't have a garden, plant one. I heard this reflection somewhere too, that Adam and Eve were banished from the Garden of Eden, but they were never told to stop being gardeners. So we're supposed to still do that. Just now we have to deal with the thorn and the weed. So anyway, thank you for visiting with me outside. It's been so nice. It's actually getting a little warm today, but it's nice to be outside all the same. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.